Welcome, everyone, to the Healthy School Food Summit, brought to you by the Coalition for Healthy School Food and PlantPure. I'm your host, Ron Gandiza, and in this session, we are honored to have with us a dynamic couple, the dynamic couple in the UK in terms of health, David W. Evans and Dr. Agnes Electra Chlebinska. David and Agnes are both internationally respected speakers, authors, and founders of several nonprofit organizations, including Lifestyle Preventive Medicine, Happy Bootcamps, and the Academy for Health Superheroes. Their global initiative, Move Happy and Happy Bootcamps, aims to get worldwide 1 billion people active, educated, and connected in the next few years. And Happy Bootcamps operates in 12 countries nationwide, running a variety of health and fitness programs, promoting whole food plant-based nutrition, positive psychology, exercise, and the responsible use of Earth's resources, as well as the idea of connecting all nations towards one mission: health, happiness, and global wealth. They also co-authored a series of children's books with the title Academy of Health Superheroes, one of the best educational books for children ever published. And we'll learn more about this in our session today. Welcome, David and Agnes.
Thank you, Ron, for having us. Thank you.
Ron, and hello, the whole world.
You know, we are so honored to have you here because I know you're very busy and what you're doing. You've come back from this trip to Saudi Arabia. We'll hear more about that. But before we jump into that, I'd love to learn more about each of you, about how you got interested in this health journey and really this plant-based journey. So why don't we start with you, Agnes? What got you started in plant-based nutrition?
So as you know, I am actually a medic. So for us, the traditional medicine evolves about you have a symptoms, there is a tablet for it, this tablet creates another symptoms, but there is another tablet for it. And by the time I was 35, I realized that essentially the number of tablets I'm taking grows and grows. And actually the space they take over in my cabinet grows also. So therefore, I had to at some point be honest with myself and choose either I will be exactly like my patient, I just get sicker and sicker and die, or I have to completely rethink my lifestyle. And this is how I started watching what I eat, how I behave, how I think, and also, the environment I'm surrounding myself with. And interesting that I've noticed that the less I eat of animal products, the better I felt. And at some point, without knowing why, I became vegan, but all my conditions, including those who I had for over 30 years, they disappeared. So me as a medic, I couldn't understand this because, again, we are not being taught in a medical school that actually nutrition can treat your conditions. And this is when I started doing research, and I became obsessed with this because it not only the nutrition, the psychology, the exercise, and my environment changed my health, but my entire life. I feel that I have more energy, I feel better, more confident, my career is blooming. And I have, ever since also I met David on this journey, and we have the best relationship on the planet. So my whole life transformed, and this is when I knew I am on the right path.
Now, I want to make this clear to everybody here. You are actually a doctor in terms of being a cardiologist.
I'm a cardiologist, and I practice general medicine in a hospital. So what does it mean that any of you who gets has a heart attack or chest infection or stroke, everybody comes to me. And obviously what I've noticed with over the last 20 years, that my patient keep coming back. So I treat the symptoms now and there. Yes, I save the life this minute. But then when they go back home, they keep doing exactly the same things they've done it for the last 20 years, which brought them to me in the first place. And I'm not doing anything to resolve the problem. So I had to recognize that the whole medical profession at the moment treats symptoms. It doesn't treat actually the cause of the problems.
I really wish we had more doctors like you that have taken this interest in nutrition to see this connection and really not just treating, as you said, the symptoms, but going to that root cause and helping people with that?
I am sure that many of my colleagues will follow. At the moment, the problem with the medical profession, the same like problem with any other profession, is that we are obviously living in a bubble. And in this bubble, there is only circulating the same type of information. And as soon we become louder and more of the information gets to them, and the hospitals start accepting it, and the medical schools will change, which exactly what we are doing. We are working towards all this. This is when I expect an explosion of absolutely amazing doctors who actually will be treating the cause and not just prescribe pills for the symptoms of the patients.
Excellent, excellent. And David, tell me more about you. I've known you for some time now and know you do quite a bit of things, but I never really understood or never got the story, your backstory. How did you even get started on this path?
As you know, Ron, as humans, we're all looking to grow and get better. And as an individual, I'm always looking for solutions. I'm always looking to see how I can get better in all the areas of my life. And nutrition is a big part of our life. You know, we eat, several times a day. It has huge influences on us as human beings. And as being a professional rugby player, I was getting a lot of side effects in terms of I was getting injured, I was getting stomach problems, I was also getting a lot of allergies as well. And I then decided to do some research into my nutrition to find out, what is it that I'm actually putting into my mouth? Because our bodies are like cars. If we put the wrong petrol into the cars are not going to be able to run. And I noticed that our bodies are exactly the same. So whatever I put into my body's going to react in that way. So then I decided to start doing a lot of research into my nutrition and find out what it is I can actually change and make better. And that's where I actually found Agnes when I was doing this research. So I came across Agnes. I was doing research on the internet. I was sending messages to Agnes because obviously Agnes is a doctor, and Agnes looked incredible, and she's almost 50 years of age. So then I sent Agnes a message, and we started sending messages backwards and forwards. But then obviously when we did all the, Agnes obviously was on the path of the journey already, and as being a rugby player, our nutritionists were telling us that we need to eat a lot of protein, which comes from animals, a lot of chicken, a lot of steak, eggs, a lot of dairy products, which we were consuming a lot, we would order like 20 kilos of chicken per month. We would order, 10, 15 kilos of steak. We were getting 20 to 40 eggs every week. It was just horrendous when I actually look back at it. So then, when I met Agnes, we went into even more depth of the plant-based industry. And then from all the evidence that we gathered and the people that we've met and the books that we have read, we then just decided, look, this is not right what we are doing. It's not right for us, and I don't believe it's right also for the environment and for the agriculture, the animals, etc. as well. So then we just started off with our health. We stopped eating dairy products, and we've seen vast amount of benefits. Our allergies disappeared. Stomach problems disappeared. Agnes had sinusitis for 30 years, disappeared. Skin conditions disappeared. All these symptoms that we were having all just disappeared. Dairy was the first thing that we stopped. Then we stopped the meats. Then we completely stopped eating all the meats. Obviously, being a professional athlete and getting told that we need to eat meats because we will lose our muscles, you will not be so fit. Obviously, in the back of my mind, I was a bit skeptical of stopping all this. But then I just decided, look, I've done enough research, and I'm just going to stop eating the meats and get more plant-based nutrition into my body, like vegetables, more kale, more spinach, more broccoli, because all these are protein and essential amino acids which our body require. And eat more fruits as well, because the fruits have got fiber. And one of the biggest problems with us as adults or humans is that we don't have enough fiber in our body. So everything was just making sense. And the myth of you need animals to actually have muscles, it's the biggest myth out there, because I'm stronger, I'm healthier, I'm fitter. I've done an Ironman on plant-based. I can lift weights, I can run, I can cycle. It's just incredible. But obviously, it's taken us a number of years to understand and get this concept and educate ourselves, which is so important, because you can't just stop eating everything and just decide to do something. You need to obviously educate yourself along the way. And that's a message that I would like to send out to everybody. And one of the most important things is that we must educate ourselves first before we actually start taking action. It's like you're not going to stop your job and set up a business if you don't know anything about business. You have to educate yourself about what are the things that you need to do to start up a business before you actually stop your job. And it's the same with your nutrition. You must understand the importance of plant-based and what you have to actually change, what you actually have to put in your mouth, where you're going to get it from, what vitamins, what minerals are essential that we need and require that we can't get.
And learn to cook.
And also learn to cook. Yeah, because obviously, and I'm sure we will go into this a little bit more detail later on, but obviously, just because you're plant-based or just because you're vegan or vegetarian doesn't mean that you're healthy. You must be eating the right foods to be healthy. Because I know a lot of vegetarians, a lot of vegans are plant-based, but they're not healthy, And
we know vegans who live on hummus and carrots, and obviously they are still overweight and they have all the health issues, because just being a vegan, it does not mean you are healthy. As David said, we have to educate ourselves.
So that's why, and then that's obviously why, this has had a massive influence on our life. And we just want to share and educate and teach everybody what we've done ourselves. So then these people also can have the opportunity to learn and to grow and to succeed in whatever they want to do.
Well, tell me more about this book, because that's really what got me excited as we were thinking about doing the Healthy School Food Summit and trying to introduce healthier foods into our school systems in the U.S. You have experience internationally. You are traveling around, and like I said, we'll talk a bit more about that. But what was the inspiration for this line of children's books, the Academy of Health Superheroes?
So this is the Academy for Health Superheroes. And we will send you a copy, Ron, so you've got one.
Thank you, because I have my 4-year-old grandson would love it.
Our sticker.
Our badge, our health superhero badge.
Tell me more about it.
So essentially, we recognize what the challenges of the markets are. So we have a lot of parents coming also to our boot camps, and they often bring children, and we discuss what the challenges are. And also, one of my biggest challenges always has been actually bringing the healthy lifestyle to my nurses, actually. And because all of them have more than one child, and all of them struggle big time to introduce in the homes actually the healthy lifestyle. And so we recognize that there are essentially three biggest challenges. Number one is the education and the schooling system. And number two is the lost parents who don't know actually what to do or how to do. And the third thing is obviously the media and the image that the only happy, successful, and fun people are the one with slice of pizza, Coca-Cola, glass of beer, and partying. So we recognize this, and we decided, hey, we are going to beat all of this. So what we, as a solution, decided that number one, we cannot anymore, as doctors, professors, or leaders, sit at our desk and do our job. The challenge of our generation is to actually create education, to create platforms, and to connect the communities. And all this has to be done in a form of an adventure. And the whole idea of the book came exactly from the fact that I am a big fan of children movies. My favorite movies will be Star Wars and Star Trek and fantasy stories. And I leave this somewhere in my head. And when people ask me often why you stay so young, this is definitely part of my youthfulness, that I actually live an adventure. My job is an adventure. My life is an adventure. So we decided that education, as it was until now, it has to end. And basically we put all the medical knowledge, the part one of the book, it's called Heart, so it's dedicated towards the heart and heart diseases. But we decided that this is not going to be typical, this is what the heart does, and this is what's happened when you eat McDonald's. This has to be a fantasy story, an exciting story. It has to be a family book. And this is exactly what we've created. And the response we have is fantastic. It's not that the kids sleep with the books, but the parents also. So I think David, he can tell you he loves the book as much as I do.
And as Agnes was saying, those 3 points about the schooling system, of the education, that's obviously one of the reasons why we created the book, is because we want to educate not just the children, but also the adults as well. You know, when you've worked with, we've worked with hundreds of thousands of people all around the world, so we can see where the problems lie, not just in the UK, but, other countries around the world. And the similar problems occur, is that the education system is not where it needs to be. And that's one of the reasons why we created this book, is because it's educational, not just for the kids, but for the adults. And it's put in a way that everybody is able to understand it. Because myself, I struggled in school. I am dyslexic, and I didn't know I was dyslexic until I met Agnes. And Agnes discovered it. So I went through all my school years being dyslexic. And if you don't know what dyslexia is, you can have a few different ways of being dyslexic. But I wasn't able to read and write, and I couldn't understand what I was reading and writing. So in our book, we've got text in there, but we've also got pictures as well. Because when you see a picture, you can actually make a whole story out of a picture. And a picture attracts people to understand and to learn. Because sometimes kids would like to see pictures. They want to see what's going on, not just text. And in school, you just get textbooks full of writing. There's not a lot of pictures in these textbooks. So we created a book that's got incredible pictures that kids can see. And the pictures, like Agnes said, they are full of adventure.
So if you look at this, so instead of saying basically what the heart does, I don't know if you can see, there's a fat sitting on the artery and a sugar, and the heart is pumping really hard to basically pump the heart, the blood through the arteries. So, and there are obviously lots of psychology as well, and there is Agnes, this would be me. Traveling around the world and learning everything there is to learn to actually teach the children to be, healthy and happy.
And that book doesn't look thin. I mean, this is a nice size book. I mean, it's a
200-page book.
Right. I mean, that's exactly. It's not like a simple comic book. I mean, we're talking a true. It's an educational book, but yet positioned in a presented in a really fun and engaging way. And we see this today. We see the number of superhero movies alone right now that have taken off. People love that fantasy, both adults and children.
Yes.
And you've been able to capture that in a way that makes health fun and exciting, as you said, Agnes, an adventure.
Absolutely. So believe or not, but this is how we feel. Some people might think, oh, it's ridiculous, but we both with David, we feel like health superheroes, and we want to tell the children. We want the children to actually feel like health superheroes, like the eating and the exercise and the way they think and the environment. They are not just doing for themselves, but they are doing to teach other children to basically make the world a better place. And I think this is what is one of our basic needs, which we've lost in the last couple of decades. That feeling of fulfillment, that feeling of doing something significant in life. Because just going to school to just get a job, I don't think this is enough for most of us. And this is what this book is. And I love the fact when we get feedback from the children, but the best line is from the parents, which is says, I love the 6 health and happiness master. And the masters is all about psychology, about being patient, about being loving and caring. And every parent says the first line, I love the health superhero masters. And this is what it is about. It engages the children and it engages the parents. It reminds us of what actually is really important to us and how you can create an amazing life. But you need health for it. You need education. If you don't have health, nothing else really matters, does it?
I love this whole concept because I can see this taking off so fast because parents, we see this all the time at PlantPure. People are looking for ways to share the information with their kids. And as you said, and a lot of the information out there is somewhat, should we say, clinical. You know, and with that, it's not so easy for parents to share this. But I know this with my own grandchild, for instance. I have a grandchild that's 4 years old, and he loves to make smoothies. And so I'm trying to teach him, well, we're putting flaxseed, and flaxseed's great for your omegas. And I tell them, you know, it's your brain. And I try to simplify it. But then again, I have some training, right, from eCornell. But I'd like to have something like your book that I can share these stories and not just train and teach my kids, but educate myself.
Yeah. And Ron, you love the book because we put also exercises and recipes in the book. And you have a brilliant smoothie recipe, you have a vegan curry, and you have a carrot banana pancake, completely vegan as well. So this is exactly, we did this. And another comments which we get from parents, why are there no more recipes in this book? So we love, and they are also interactive part, believe or not. So there is the education, there's the fun, you can cook, you can exercise using this book, but there's also part where the children learn complete tasks, and at the end of the book, they become health superheroes. And they love this too. And we too.
I can't wait. You know, I just had a granddaughter that was born a few days ago. So
you are too young to have grandchildren.
I have grandchildren. You know, that's like grandson, now a granddaughter. So obviously when I hear something like this, and I know a lot of parents are out there and teachers that we have watching this are excited because, again, we have materials. We have some great information from Dr. Antonia Demas, who joins us from New York, and she's written so much information as well for children. She's got 40 years plus in the space. Because your book is well now into this space and making a very big splash, and we really want to make sure people know that, one, these are available, and two, where to get them. So if someone's interested in learning more about your book, do they visit a website, or because I know you're in the UK? So explain to us how teachers or schools can.
Our book is in 2 formats. It's paperback and also digital as well. So you can download it off iBooks, or if you've got a Kindle, you can download it off Amazon. So those are the digital aspects, and you can also purchase it as a paperback of Amazon and all the big book retailers around the world. Or you could just go to our website, which is academyforhealthsuperheroes.com, and you can purchase the book there as well.
And we will send to you with a special note from us, and with love.
Thank you. Now, I'd like to learn more about the boot camps that you're doing, and because I know you've taken the Happy Bootcamps, and the information, I'm pretty sure all the experience you've had in running these boot camps around the world helped to also provide some of the content for your book for children. So tell me more, or fill people in, because a lot of people will not know what these Happy Boot Camps are. Just the name is great, Happy Boot Camps, but it's not just about exercise, because you incorporate exercise along with the educational piece of nutrition too. So can you tell me more about that, David?
Yes. So Happy Bootcamps, it was created here in London over 6 years ago by me and Agnes. We started it because we just wanted to give something back to people. And obviously our expertise is health and well-being. So we just decided we would just run a free class every Saturday in the park, in Hyde Park, and see who turns up and wants to exercise with us. And as you know, it takes a little bit of time for people to come before you start building up good numbers. But then we kept doing it because that's what we are. You have to be consistent if you want to achieve things. So then we kept going, and over the course of 6 months, we were getting, 50 people come in, and then the summer came, and then we were getting 100 people come in. Then we had to set up another one on another part of London. So we then had 2 running back to back on a Saturday and also on a Sunday for free for everybody that wants to come. It was absolutely free. Adults, and you can bring your children, you can bring whoever you want. It's free for everybody. So that was our initial program that we started. And then we thought...
If I may just say one thing, it was about fitness first, because we are great believers that obviously most of the health problems we face come really from our mind. However, in London, most of the people are educated, and therefore they are very left side brain thinkers. So if you tell them, come to our events, we will teach you how to think healthier so you can become healthier and stop spending your life in pubs, nobody would come. But by creating the Happy Bootcamps, we created an environment that they could come for the exercise, but we would also include advice on nutrition and talk about mindset and motivate them and do small hypnosis exercises or neurolinguistic or visualization. So this is also why we started with the fitness, because people much easier admit that they want to exercise or lose weight than they are lonely or that they have some emotional problems.
Then we created this big buzz here in London. And then me and Agnes, we thought, right then, how can we have a big impact on the global sense? So we wanted to create Happy Bootcamps everywhere that's accessible for people around the world for free. So then we made a few contacts, to get people interested if they would like to set them up. We got people contacting us. And as you said earlier, we've got them around the world in 12 different countries, running for free for people. And we've had over 150,000 people attending these sessions. And they've been free from day one, 6 years ago. And they're always going to continue to be free for everybody, because I'm a big believer, and I'm sure you are also, Ron, that giving back there's no better feeling than seeing people turning up, coming to these sessions that are for free, putting smiles on people's lives. Messages are priceless that you get from people when they said they've come to your sessions, you've changed my life, this has changed, that has changed, I had a big influence on my kids. It's just no better feeling than seeing that on people's faces, and also getting those messages. I know, we are ambitious and we like to have a big impact. That's what we were born for. That's what I believe us as humans are here on this planet, is to have an impact on society. And this is a way that we are able to have an impact on, is by creating these free activities around the world, which are going to have big impacts on people's lives, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well.
And thanks to our success, as you know, we've been approached by the Saudi government to create a pilot project there. I don't know if you are aware or anybody else in US, but the whole Gulf area, obviously, is the sickest part of the world. So in Saudi, 30% of people have diabetes. People at the age of 28, they have strokes, heart attacks. If anybody gets to the age of 50, a lot of them are bedbound, fed by the tubes. So the situation is really disastrous. And we went there expecting actually, big difficulties because of the mentality, and obviously most of the media is very unkind towards Saudi Arabia because of still the differences how women and men are being treated there. However, after spending the 2 months, we had a massive success. And the last message I got from the government representative was that people like us change the world. And I was blessed that our paths have crossed. And this is exactly what David is talking about. There is no better feeling that if you can really impact massively, and in this case, the entire population. So we are looking to go back to Saudi Arabia for a much bigger project, and we are extremely excited because now at least once per week people are contacting us from around the world and set up more Happy Bootcamps.
We're also going to be setting one up in India as well in October. Going to get them all around the whole of India, because as you know, it's a third world country in some parts, and the children, some of them are homeless, some of them don't have any education, and we want to go out there. We want to set up these free Happy Bootcamps and build schools and give them our books so they can actually have something to teach themselves and build up that self-confidence that they need to be able to undergo the challenges in life, that they can actually succeed. Because even though if you don't have any resources at this point, if you're able to give somebody something, and that can be our book or it can be somebody else's book, that they can actually read and have influence, perspective from it, and gives them that encouragement and motivation, they can also achieve anything that they want as well.
That's why we're very excited about Happy Bootcamps. And I say we, meaning PlantPure, because of how you blend in exercise and plant-based nutrition and the mental piece, the happiness piece of it. Combining those together and spreading that around the world is right in line with our mission, right? To help promote the ability for us to not just prevent or arrest, but actually reverse a lot of the chronic diseases. And your successes, they're inspiration for everybody, because we know it can be done. And Agnes, kudos to you, because as you said, in Saudi Arabia, the difference between men and women and how they are treated, the perception, I've never been to Saudi Arabia, so I can't say firsthand, but, from the media, they do have reports that say it's not really fair, to say the least. And your success there, is absolutely amazing. And I've read some of the information on it. So thank you for what you do.
You know what is interesting about Saudi Arabia? The one thing what makes everything so much easier, because they don't have the social media, the minds are not polluted. So we go there, we tell them, you need to eat plant-based, whole foods, nutrition, and they go, all right then. We say, your mind is number one. This causes you all the problems after. They go, fantastic. We say, okay, we need to push harder with the exercise so you can look like Agnes when you're 50. They go, even better.
I never really thought about that. I guess the double-edged sword of
absolutely.
Okay, yeah. I've got to remember that. We got to remember how to do this. Of course, especially in the U.S., where we're constantly having to deal with trolls, if you will, in social media, and having to counter the false report or research that they'll throw in to cause doubt, in people's minds about, well, you got that study, but this study says something else, not telling the whole story that there's hundreds of studies that prove our point, and you've got one study produced by the Atkins Institute. So, that's a very interesting concept. And like I said, we want to help spread what you do all around the world.
Absolutely. And the one thing I teach people in Saudi is that whoever comes and tells you anything about health and fitness, ask them one question: what is your goal in life? Because if you look around at a lot of these statements which contradict us, those are people, if you ask them what the goals in life are, their goals is to survive until age of 80, okay, and then I can drop that. But I believe that in 21st century, we should not be talking about surviving without disease until age of 80. We should be talking about thriving at the age of 100 and maybe beyond this. And definitely plant-based nutrition is the way to go, as well as exercise, obviously looking after your environment and looking after your psychology and the people you surround yourself. This is why we are sending you so much love, Ram.
Tell our audience more about where they can learn more about Happy Bootcamps.
We have a website called happybootcamps.com that people can go and find out if there's sessions in your city or in your country. And if you've got any questions regarding that, maybe you want to set up one in your city or town, then you could just send us an email at team@happybootcamps.com, and then we will be more than happy to help you to set up these sessions in a place near you. And if people start doing things for other people, the world would just be a much better place, because, like I said earlier, there's no better feeling than actually giving back. And once you build up these communities, then we are much stronger, and we would ignite even better. And one thing that people ask me a lot since I've been back from Saudi, they say to me, so how are the Saudi people? And I say, people are people. It doesn't matter where you go in the world, we get the same challenges, we get the same problems, etc., etc. People are people.
Yeah, this is exactly the same. I get asked all the time, what's the difference between British women and Saudi women? And I always answer with, the Saudi women were biased. That's all what is different. They have the same problem with the husbands, the same problem with the children, the same problem with the self-image. There is no difference. And this, I just want to say to the whole world, the Saudi women are truly amazing. They're hungry for knowledge. They are very inspirational. And it's absolutely amazing to see how quickly the things are changing and the women are pushing. So I would appreciate also that anybody who ever can support basically all these Arabic women, because they definitely need our support rather than criticism.
And the fact that you've been able to have the success in Saudi Arabia really provides hope here, especially in the U.S., where we have a somewhat divided public right now on a number of topics. And we don't want to be divided when we talk about health for our children. The fact that you're able to basically hone down, right, and make sure that and understand people are people. We too need to understand that people are people, and we all have the same wants and desires to have our children live a very healthy and happy life. Yeah. So we're looking forward to bringing your concepts, more into our school systems here, and really, I love your book. Just the name of the book in terms of the Academy for Health Superheroes, because really our teachers have that opportunity right now. Our teachers, our school administrators, the principals, the legislators that can bring this valuable message to our communities. They have the power right now to be the superheroes, to really make a difference.
Absolutely. We are in this book. We talk about the health superheroes masters, but the masters will be us, the people who know what is the right thing. And they teach and create all these little health superheroes. And if we inspire the youth, if we made for them being healthy, exciting, an adventure, they just will go with the flow. And I believe also they will actually help to change the parents, because children are much more persistent. Every time I have a child who reads something in a book, and then catches the parent, for example, with, I don't know, cigarette or something, they will go and say, Mom, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. And the parent, for example, called us and sent us a message and said, hey, I had to stop smoking, or I had to stop having my wine by the dinner, because they sit there with the book and say, Mom, that's not good for your heart. It's not good for your stomach.
Well, like I said, we're going to be helping to spread the word, and I really appreciate what you're doing. We, as PlantPure and the Coalition for Healthy School Food, this summit, really appreciate your efforts and taking the time to help share this. I know you've been traveling around. I'm just really glad that we were able to catch up with you on these tours. And David, of course, you and I have been connecting with Happy Bootcamps for quite some time, and I'm a huge fan of it. So I love what you're doing. And again, let's just repeat the website so people can understand. Tell me, the happybootcamps.com would be for the bootcamp.
Yeah. And before I mention the website, I just would like to make one statement, is that everybody asks, so what are the solutions? The solution is our children. That's our solution.
What is the cure? The cure are our children, their education. We are looking for cure in the labs. No. The cure for all world's problems are our children. And this is why I hope that everybody connects with us, that everybody holds strings with our hands and basically teaches our children, because they are our hope. A lot of us have really so polluted minds that we have the difficulties, we lack on the strength to change it. But they are not. The kids are still flexible, they are hungry. They can become the health superheroes, and they can really change the planet, and they can reverse our mistakes. So this is exactly what the message is. So thank you so much for listening. And our website for the book?
Our website for the book is academyforhealthsuperheroes.com. And if you want to set up a bootcamp or find one near you, it's happybootcamps.com.
Thank you so much, both David and Agnes. And for our audience, if you want to learn more about the Coalition for Healthy School Food and we have resources for your school, including information for teachers as well as students, please feel free to visit healthyschoolfood.org for more information. And at PlantPure, plantpurenation.com is where you can find information about PlantPure, the healthy meals that we have there, as well as information on the plant-based movement and what we're doing to help promote this lifestyle all around the world. Again, thank you, David and Agnes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ron. Such a pleasure speaking to you, and all our love to all our colleagues in the US.